And we are live. Welcome to the Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Jackie, filling in for Will. You can find me on Twitter at jsandiego. That is 2 O's. And I'm joined by my two co-hosts for the evening. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Yo, what up? It's Mac again. Thank you guys for joining us. And you can find me on Twitter at AZSportsFien. That's FIEN. And for our guest, I'm happy that we're able to talk all hour about Robert Sarver getting suspended. We don't even what football game? I don't remember no fucking football game. So, but I'm glad to have him on our show as I've been on his a guest on Chirpin Yodi's podcast. Yes, Yodi's Grandy. A handful of times, so it's finally good to pay it back a little bit. So why don't you fully introduce yourself to everyone?
Oh man, you had to throw that mispronunciation in there on me, didn't you? But yeah, my name is Alex Grandy. You can find me on Twitter at Grandy099, also known as StatheadGrandy. I co-host the Chirpin Yotes podcast with my boys Tyler and Chase, and just looking forward to talking about some very painful football for the next hour with you guys. Thank you for having me on.
No problem. So we'll briefly go over the shit show that was. We'll look ahead at the Raiders. We'll get into predictions. But first and foremost, our fucking defense, man. That was. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. I mean, we're seasoned Cardinals fans, so we know we've seen ugly, but fuck was that ugly.
Yeah, I mean, they could do whatever they wanted. Patrick Mahomes was like 30 for 39. The Chiefs offense put up nearly 500 total yards. The Cardinals pass defense against had a passer rating of 144.2. 144.2. That's fucking disgusting. The Cardinals or the Chiefs defense, their passer rating against was under 100. So that just kind of shows you the disparity right there. But yeah, it was a shit show. Grandy, how did you watch this game? Did you watch this game?
I watched the second half. I listened to the first half, and I really wish I hadn't watched the second half and just stayed listening to the radio, because that was an eyesore.
At least you caught two of the touchdowns that we had, so you saw that at least.
I caught garbage time, so I caught when we were actually able to do stuff. That was what was so frustrating to me. It was our offense frustrated me more than our defense. I was expecting our defense to not be great this year, so watching our offense come out and struggle against what was really a poor defense last year was a little frustrating. I don't know if it was the game plan. It looked stuck in the mud for the first part until garbage time happened. So, but that defense, I was prepared for it to be bad. I was expecting it to be bad. I wasn't expecting for that evisceration to happen. So
I have to admit, when not the injury reports came out, but when all the rumors kind of came out, like, oh, the Cardinals have all these banged up players, I'm like, what? They haven't played preseason. I thought it was like Cliff kind of playing coy, but to come out like Justin Pugh missed the game at the end, and then Rondell Moore. Going down the line, we got rid of Javelin Guidry, the cornerback, and then Trayvon Mullen misses the game. So it was just, yeah. Jackie, how did you watch this game? With a lot of alcohol?
No, unfortunately. So I work Sundays, so I had to set up my iPad at work to watch, and then I was able to catch the second half at home. And what sucked was that I really didn't get to really look at the offense, because every time we were on offense, like, I would be interrupted by stupid work.
To be fair, there were a lot of short possessions, so you probably didn't miss much.
Yeah, like, as soon as we'd get the ball, I'd have to, like, step away and then come back, and we were punting. So I didn't get to really dissect the offense. So what I saw, I'm like, okay, it wasn't terrible. Our O-line looked like crap. But I was really dissecting this defense because I was still in awe that with all the shit that happened, with the lack of free agency moves, our corner unfortunately passing away and not signing anybody, I was really looking to see, like, all right, like, this is the defense you want to roll with. And yeah, that is the defense that we rolled with. And it was awful.
Honestly, I thought Marco Wilson was our best cornerback.
And that
According,
too.
according to and it's not like he was great, but according to Pro Football Reference, Byron Murphy gave up 4 catches on 4 targets, a touchdown, 136 passer rating against. And it just Isaiah Simmons. I know we were all hoping for so much more, and Travis Kelce is. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame tight end, and
Dog.
he got schooled early in the offense. And that was hard to see. You know, you're expecting a lot with Isaiah and having the green dot on his helmet, communicating plays to everybody. And I thought Zayvon Collins played okay. You know, not like nothing really stood out or jumped at me. I thought he was decent in the run game. Buda Baker stood out. I thought he had a hell of a game. Jalen Thompson had a decent game. But when you only have 2 or 3 guys who have decent games, like it's hard to kind of combat what Patrick Mahomes was doing back there, because the Cardinals were kind of getting pressures on him, but Patrick Mahomes was doing everything in his power to be the guy that he is. Some of those plays are just only Patrick Mahomes can make. Yeah, that was brutal. That was brutal. And it was disappointing not to see like Victor Dimukeje kind of turn his preseason into the regular season. Dennis Gardeck, it was nice to see him out there. Expected more from Marcus Golden. So hopefully week 2, you know, we get the Raiders, and they definitely have some problems. They gave up 5.5 sacks last week to the Chargers. So hopefully this might be kind of a get right game with their banged up offensive line. I know their center's in concussion protocol right now. So hopefully J.J. Watt can get healthy. And that's the thing. Like when I saw J.J. Watt was out, it just kind of forebode everything. I'm sure you guys saw the stat that the Cardinals pressured Patrick Mahomes a career high amount of percentage amount of times. Do you guys see that?
I didn't see that. Career high
I
for
saw
him?
that, yeah.
Career
For
high
him, yeah.
Oh,
So
wow, okay.
he was blitzed on 54% of the snaps for the first time in his career. Threw a career high 4 TD passes against the blitz. So, yeah, when you're losing J.J. Watt and you have to manufacture pressure, and if that pressure doesn't get there, you're kind of fucked.
Especially with as thin a secondary as we are, it's just we
And
need all the bodies back there we can
linebackers.
get, and
Yeah.
linebackers. And I mean, I remember in the first half, I was listening to the game on the radio as I was working, and at one point they talked about how I can't remember what receiver it was, but it was one of the receivers caught a pass on Isaiah Simmons. I'm like, oh, that can't be right. We there's no way we had Isaiah Simmons on their receiver, and sure enough, it was
linebackers and coverage. That's how fucking awful our game plan was.
Vance loves his soft zone coverage, and yeah, when you're playing a zone, Mahomes is just gonna tear you a new one.
Yeah, nothing about that defensive game plan, nothing about the execution, just nothing defensively went right in that game. It was ugly from start to finish.
Yeah, no adjustments, no defense, just vibes. But Grandy, you were mentioning that you thought that the offense was god awful. Like, what about the offense to you was god awful?
It just nothing seemed to be clicking, especially early on. We couldn't keep them. We couldn't keep them. We couldn't keep them out of our backfield. Kyler Murray was rushed on every play. It felt like Kyler had less than 3 seconds on almost every snap to throw the ball. And when you're being rushed like that, you're not going to get into a groove. And it just, like I said, it was just.
No, I agree. It was frustrating. You're down multiple possessions. And then I was curious. I wanted to see what Kyler Murray's next gen stats were, right? So 19 of his 22 completions were within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. He was 3 for 9 on passes of at least 10 yards, so 10 or more. And that's just disappointing when you're down in the game like that and you're basically held to be like a dink and dunk guy. And it all stems. I know, Jackie, we've talked about this, dating back to Kyler's first year we did this is Kyler's great when there's no pressure early and he kind of gets into a flow and a rhythm. And don't get me wrong, Kyler is not the reason why we lost. But when you're
No.
down multiple touchdowns, you kind of need a little bit more than hoping a 13 play drive turns into a touchdown. You want to be able to have a quick strike ability. And the first two dropbacks Kyler had on Sunday, first one, he evaded the rush and somehow got like 7 yards on it. I watched the replay on the all 22 and just still kind of dumbfounded how he got away. The very next play, third and short, free DB runner from his strong side, basically kind of clotheslines Kyler. Pretty hard tackle.
Yeah.
And we've always kind of talked about that. When Kyler kind of gets hit hard early, he kind of resorts to, okay, first read that. And there were times where it felt like the offensive line was better than I anticipated. Rewatching the game because by halftime I'm fucking chugging beers, live.
Yeah.
But going back and actually like rewatching, I'm like, okay, there's some time there. But it's first read, 8 yards. And that's also what KC was doing. Once you get a big lead, you're kind of playing like a shell defense. You keep trying to keep everything in front of you. So that's kind of the game plan. But just disappointed in kind of the game plan altogether from Cliff Kingsbury to start the game. It just you have five active running backs that you keep, and only one touches the ball for the first half. There just wasn't much creativity. I didn't think.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you got to come out with some creativity, some urgency. And I was really surprised. In hindsight, like I get, like you want to get the ball at the second half, but I think what would have really helped was
Yeah.
just getting to that first possession, establishing your run, chewing up some
Yep.
clock, and getting into your rhythm that you played behind the whole time. I'm sorry, Grandy, go ahead.
I
I
agree
was
about that,
just
Jackie.
going to
Yeah.
add on right from the get go too, from the morning scratches when those were announced. I don't understand the need to have Andy Isabella out there who provided nothing over our rookie tight end. He's a rookie. I know he's not going to give you everything you want, but just to have an extra body out there for blocking or in the red zone or just possession, I really thought it was a mistake to healthy scratch Trey McBride over a guy like Andy Isabella who didn't provide anything we didn't already have on the team with Marquise Brown and Greg Dortch.
Exactly. That's a good point.
Yeah. And I know Max Williams was active. He played 10 snaps. I would have loved to see him integrated early on in the game as well because he is that proven blocker. Give Kyler kind of a sense of calm to start the game around the edges. He's one of the best blocking tight ends in the league. He had 10 offensive snaps. Like if these guys are going to be active, let's play them. Let's not baby them right here. So I would definitely need to see more. There are some game plan changes, and I do agree with you, Grandy. Some McBride or even Max Williams, one of these guys needs to be in there to at least help at the minimum blocking to kind of free up Kyler a little bit because when he's out there and he has four wide receivers and these guys are still coming in from the edges untouched, it's just going to play with his head. So we've known this about Kyler for a long time. You give him some time early in the game and he gets into a rhythm, then that's when the fireworks will kind of be on display. And I was expecting more from him and the Hollywood Brown connection early on. Just it seems like later on in the game they had a little bit more of a rapport, and so hopefully that carries over into week 2 and beyond as well.
Yeah, I was kind of displeased with the lack of us going to Hollywood Brown, but maybe it was a lack of them playing in the preseason that they weren't connecting or establishing that connection right away. But I can't help but wonder if this game would have looked different had we played some our starters in preseason.
I don't know. That's a tough one because it's like we played what one possession last year, then we blew out the Titans. But then I
Yeah.
mean you look at the Chiefs and they played all their guys. You know they weren't afraid. Patrick Mahomes was out there. And at the end of the day, Andy Reid's a much better coach than Cliff Kingsbury. So maybe Cliff should
Absolutely.
maybe take notes. Yeah, you know you want to keep your guys healthy and stuff, but there comes a point to where this is a physical sport. You know you have to callous your body up a little bit. And another thing I want to say is the grass over at State Farm Stadium. Do you see that? Like, what was it? Not the opening kick, but the Chiefs kicker roll his ankle after they scored that first touchdown. He went to go kick the kickoff. Straight up
Yeah.
rolled his ankle, and now you're seeing all these Cardinal players with calf injuries, toe injuries. I'm not saying
Playing
it's
on that
totally
grass.
on the field, but that is the one common denominator when it's like, okay, well, they're not all in the preseason game. What are they all doing? Well, they're on that field, and that field is never it looks pretty, but it's never been known to be a great players field from everything I've heard in the past.
What you got for
Yeah,
us,
no.
Greg?
Oh, yeah, no. Especially last year, the years before that, it always seems like we have so many soft tissue injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just stuff that seems like it should be avoidable. A lot of that comes down to our field, and I really wonder how much of that also comes down to our training beforehand, or what we're doing in the weeks ahead.
Or even in the
Um,
off season in general, like in the spring mini camp and stuff. You know, are you building your muscle mass and your strength there, or is it kind of all walkthroughs, and then once you actually get to camp in July, then it's like okay, you're kind of all putting it all full force at once, and we're not behind the scenes, but yeah, that's a good point. Sorry for cutting you
Oh,
off.
oh,
was
no
there
problem.
anything good that you guys saw out of this game? Any positives?
Yeah, I think I liked what I saw from kind of Michael Dogby, Dennis Gardeck. He played 20 snaps. He had 4 tackles, a QB hit, a forced fumble. 20 snaps is 29% of the snap, so that number needs to go up. I was pleasantly surprised with Marco Wilson. There was no game-changing plays he made or anything, but I did see a little bit of growth from him. I feel like from what we saw in preseason in that respect.
Grandy.
And for me, having ragged on the offense earlier, I want to now come out and give it a little bit of a pat on the back. I liked what Greg Dortch did out there. He showed he belongs. And I think with a little bit more time and a little bit more um, connection there, I think
Mm-hmm.
him and Kyler can make a really good pairing. I think that could be something we see blossom as the year goes on.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think he caught 7 of 9 passes. Sorry, Jackie. Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
Yep, 7 of 9. So yeah, there is a little bit of a connection there for sure. I mean, he got more targets than Hollywood, and I don't think anyone really would have thought that heading into week one. Even though everyone loves Greg Dortch, it was still kind of surprising to see him finish with the most targets on the team, and that's probably not something we want to see very often moving forward. I'd rather see probably Marquise Brown and once we get a little bit healthier, get Rondell back in the mix. But yeah, it was definitely good to see Dortch do his thing a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just happy that I know Kyler didn't play his best game or even a good game, but he wasn't the reason why we lost. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
turn the ball over. He looked pretty accurate. He's not out there,
Yeah.
slinging ducks or anything like that. So that's always good when it's not his fault, especially with all the criticism that he's been facing this all off season. The connection to Dortch was awesome. I'm pleasantly surprised with how well Greg Dortch performed. The run game didn't look bad. I just wish we could have established that earlier. Eno was looking good. Wish we could have worked with
Yeah.
him earlier in the
Yep.
game.
That was a
Uh,
positive.
Gardeck, I would like to see Gardeck get some more playing time because he makes it count. Maximum effort right there. Yeah, I thought Marco looked better than Murphy. Buddha's flying around. Buddha and Jalen, like they can't be everywhere. They can't do everything. And yeah,
Right.
they're gonna give up some stuff, but that's the only solid and consistent that we had with the defense. Um, But those are my positive takeaways. Everyone was saying, well, we lost to a Super Bowl contender, a Super Bowl team. But at the same time, it's like, we want to be viewed as a Super Bowl team, and this is not a Super Bowl team. You have to put together a Super Bowl team. If that's a Super Bowl team and we think that that's our goal, we need to be on their level, and we were not close to being on their level.
Yeah, it's hard to garner a lot from week one. They're just watching all the games this weekend. They're fucking crazy, but for at least 1 week, we were nowhere on par with that level. Sorry, Grandy.
I was just going to say they punked us on every level of play this week.
Mm-hmm.
It was ugly
from the coaching down, definitely.
Yep. Everywhere they could, they did.
Yeah, there's times. I'm trying to think. I had it written down. I think it was late in the first half when we had the ball in their territory, and we want to at least get points before half because then we're coming back and we're getting the ball right after half. And Cliff runs 3 straight pass plays right there. We lose maybe 15 seconds, I think, off the clock, and I believe they come down and they get a field goal before half. If I'm remembering that correctly, I'm on 3 hours of sleep right now. But just there were some things. I know people were acting like they were going to give Cliff a pass. No, fuck no. When you come out and your team is this as unprepared, top to bottom, and after the game, Cliff is saying that they need to watch their practice habits. That's completely on him, 100%. That's not on anybody else. So hopefully he can figure that out and they can move on and have a good week of practice and come away 1-1 because you don't want to be 0-2 heading against the Rams week 3.
And that's one thing that's worried me all offseason long is it seemed like this offseason has been a pass the buck type offseason. Right from Kyler Murray's homework clause in his contract down to the practice habits comments. It's just everything it seemed to happen it's not on me, it's on this guy. That's not what you want to see from a coach and GM you just extended.
Oh, and I know a lot of fans are, almost feel like a sense of like inevitability. Yeah, I mean, you gave these guys 5-6 year contract extensions. And not everyone, very few people have 100% belief in Steve Keim for one and Cliff Kingsbury. So hopefully Michael Bidwell knows what he's doing because when they were shooting some cuts or showing the cuts from Michael Bidwell and Keim, you could cut the tension right there on the TV screen with those two. So, but that's Michael Bidwell's bed to lay in. And I know I'm not, it feels a lot of doom and gloom because we want to be that Super Bowl type of team. And at the end of the day, we were a beat up team. Steve Keim traded for Cody Ford, and Cody Ford ends up going on the IR. It's like he tried.
Trayvon Mullen didn't hurt.
Oh, and I 100% hate on him or just the fact that we didn't add to the D line with proven talent. I'm kind of just expecting, okay, well, J.J. Watt would be healthy. It seemed like that was kind of their thinking. And then the cornerback room, you have Jeff Gladney, but let's be honest, he was a question mark his first 2 years in the league anyways. But prior to his suspension, he was a first-round pick. He didn't have that great of a rookie year. So you're going after cheap options at premium positions. That's what I think a lot of fans are frustrated about. Quarterback is not a position that you can just go out and willy-nilly pick some guy. That's probably one of the hardest positions in all of sports to play at an elite level is a cornerback going against a wide receiver quarterback combo. So hopefully we can get healthy. And I mean, it's just kind of beating the dead horse right here. But I expect a much better performance heading into week 2.
One thing I'd like to add to that is I wish we could have invested as much in the cornerback position as we have the middle linebacker position over the last 5 years.
Oh Jesus! If you had 3 first round or multiple first round picks there, yeah.
And
because
the picks that we wasted on that position aren't even panning out like we wanted to. I'm a hater.
And then the middle linebackers that we had on our team that we signed in free agency are off excelling with their new teams.
Did you guys see Jordan Hicks?
Yep.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
14 tackles.
Unbelievable.
Some shit. Which makes me, I can't help but wonder if it's the scheme and the coaching.
Oh, I really do think it is. A lot of it does come down to advanced scheming ways to maybe get pressure. So it puts guys in non-conventional positions
to where out of position.
Jordan Hicks has more of a role in Vance Joseph scheme or system than he does maybe in Minnesota, where he's a clear-cut middle linebacker. They're not blitz. They don't have to scheme for blitzes as much as Vance loves, because Vance, he gets exaggerated with some of those blitz packages. So I can see where it comes to a point where all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, I'm in a non-conventional defense now. So I'm not that conventional middle linebacker that's just that run stuffer, focusing on that. I have to worry about these other guys who are blitzing about half of the plays and kind of filling in there. And it almost feels like, from what I got watching Isaiah Simmons, it almost looked like he was thinking too much. That's never a good sign when you're out there and you're not ready before the snap. You're scrambling. You look like you're scrambling with a second left before they hike the ball. And there has to be a way that hopefully these young guys especially can start playing free and not like that they, are being judged on every move that they make. I don't know if the scheme is just too complicated or what, but watching Isaiah Simmons, that's one of the first things that popped in my head, was just thinking about how he just did not look like he was playing free thinking, and that's the way you need to play in sports. You can't be out there, no matter the sport, trying to tiptoe into each play and hopefully you just have to kind of go and trust your instincts. So,
and maybe it's that green dot. Maybe it's getting to his head. Maybe he can't handle that.
That's a lot of on his plate for a young guy who, we talked about it, had played 19 snaps in the playoff game. So he's focusing on all offseason him trying to, be the best he can be, so to stay on the field. And then you get this green dot, and you have to be basically the leader of the defense, getting everyone in the position who needs it in front of you.
If that's the case, step up and say something, man, because we need you to be present and be physical and play your best. So if it's too much, he's got to step up and say something, because I want him to succeed.
Oh, yeah.
I really want him to succeed. I have more patience with him than I do Zaven Collins.
Even with Zaven, I came into this season, I'm giving him a free reign. Rookie year out the window. Cardinals obviously don't like playing their rookies, so it's like, okay, year 2, you're the starter now. I'm gonna give you ample time to see if you're an NFL middle linebacker. As for Isaiah, he has the freak potential, the freak talent. So I don't know anyone who doesn't love him as a fan. What are your thoughts on Isaiah, Randy?
Oh, I loved Isaiah Simmons. I was banging the drum for us to pick him when we did. I thought he was going to be the perfect Swiss Army knife.
Right, me too.
In the middle of the defense. I want to be patient with him, but at some point we do have to start seeing more. What worries me is he's starting to seem like a jack of all trades,
master of
who
none.
isn't really strong at any of them. And maybe it's a scheme, because one thing I wanted to say on Zaven Collins is, when I watched his college tape, when I've watched him in college, he was hitting the line hard, whereas up here it seems like he's playing back on his heels and waiting for the play to come to him. So maybe it is the scheme and the way these guys are getting used. I really want to see Isaiah Simmons hit and hit well. I hope we move on from Vance to give these guys a chance to do that. I'm just worried that the coaching or that the Keim is going to give up on them before we do, and we have another Hassan Reddick on our hands.
That's a
That's
frustrating
very
thing as
true.
a fan. You
Yeah.
know, it's just even harder to kind of like put into words. But you're seeing like this talent. There is some talent there. I don't know how great the depth is all around, but just seeing this talent, this young talent, not really coming together and living to their potential under this regime, and it's kind of both ways. I mean, offensively and defensively, it's just hard not. You know, your favorite team is not having rookies out there producing that a lot of NFL teams have. It's at the end of the day, it's just kind of a bummer.
I mean, how many guys have we mentioned since we've started this podcast today that are performing really well that struggled here?
Right. Yeah, my Jay Sanders, you know, third round pick is inactive. Like you said about McBride, you know, they want to hype these guys up and everything, and at a certain point, it's put them out there. Let's. You're already so banged up. It'd be one thing if you're fully healthy, you know what I mean, and you know you're rolling like a well-oiled machine. But it's another thing. It's like, okay, well, this guy obviously has the talent to be, like you said, Zaven. You saw, you know, watching him in college. He obviously put on enough talent on tape to be, you know, at least a first round pick. Maybe everyone didn't have him as a first round pick, but still, if you know you're a consensus second round pick, you've shown the talent. And same with McBride, and obviously Max Williams wasn't 100% healthy. Otherwise, he would have played more than 10 snaps. So it's at a point, it kind of is a indictment on Trey McBride that you're going to take an active roster spot and put Max Williams on it, and only play him 10 snaps over this, you know, top prospect kid who we're all hyping as the best tight end that we've ever had. So it is just disappointing, and so I'm no coach or anything like that, but you want to see your young guys in there because I mean we have Jace Whitaker's playing, you know, Zeke Turner playing meaningful minutes, and it's just, you know, you want to see some of this young talent that you drafted over the last couple of years fairly high be the ones getting a lot of run and being productive.
Yeah, it's just still a lot to unpack here, but it is week one, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, or like I don't even know if I said it here or where I said it, but week one is always an opportunity for a team
Oh yeah.
at any level to steal a win. You know, anything could happen. But now that we've got this out of the way, I guess you can call it our preseason since none of the starters played. We can kind of look at you know, the Raiders, and maybe we'll come out looking a lot better. Maybe we'll come out looking like a completely different team. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it has to happen. Sorry, go on.
Oh no, yeah, I was going to say I think I think we'll come out a lot better in this game than we did the last game. I think the offense will come out clicking, hopefully right from the get-go. I think the way we can attack them is the way our strengths lie, with the deep pass and the ability to hopefully run the ball against them. So their weaknesses on defense kind of match up with ours. It's going to be a shootout, but I do think we'll play much better. I mean, there's a reason that they call the Monday after week one overreaction Monday. But I'm trying to temper my overreactions to that. I do think
Yeah.
we'll do better this week.
The thing that's kind of just is just that a lot of the stuff that a lot of us fans were worried about this offseason that weren't addressed kind of just came to the forefront. Um, with the cornerback position, the D line, the lack of real experience at linebacker. I mean, you have experience with Nick Vigil, but he was, a supplementary type addition. He wasn't, you don't want Nick Vigil to be your main piece that you add. And so it's just kind of disappointed that we all could kind of see where our deficiencies lied. And, here we are at week one, and we've already had injuries at some of those positions to where we're at where we're at. But week one, I mean, if any of these guys are a man, which I'm sure they, to a man, they take pride in themselves. They all, looked in the mirror and are determined to erase the poor start. Because you can't tell me Kyler's not itching to get back out there. And hopefully we can just get healthy. Because when you're that banged up, I mean, when we saw that injury report on Sunday, I almost felt like a given. Like, oh fuck, like it came to fruition. So number one thing is we have to get healthy a little bit here. So hopefully, do we have an update on Rondell Moore at all, Jackie? Have you seen anything this week so far, or no?
I haven't seen anything about Rondell Moore, but I've seen that we have been bringing in some wide receivers for workouts. Which, why are we bringing wide receivers in for workouts when our corners are burnt toast?
Right? Can they play cornerback too? Hopefully.
Yeah, maybe that's the strategy. Bring in a wide receiver, throw him out there at corner to get some interceptions.
Whatever saves a dollar.
Something, because we're playing against Devontae Adams this week.
Yep, and Devontae Adams, who had 17 of the 37 targets from Derek Carr, 10 receptions, 141 yards, TD. We're going to have to see a much better effort from Byron Murphy. And I'm expecting a much better effort. I thought Byron was a really good cornerback last year until Robert Alford went down, and then he almost looked like he had too much on his plate. But when Devontae Adams comes to town, I know the Chiefs, their wide receivers are kind of up in the air. You almost had to guess, okay, is it going to be Juju? But in the way they spread it out, I mean, you couldn't have planned a better game plan if you're Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid the way they did. But Hunter Renfrow, who I believe had over 100 catches last year, he only had 3 catches, 21 yards. I'd expect them to try to poke at Marco Wilson a little bit, or whoever's playing that CB2. So I'd expect more from that. And then their run game, they only ran the ball. The Raiders only ran the ball 13 times last week. So they can get kind of like the Cardinals, where if the Cardinals get down early, they're not a good comeback team to play against. It seems like they get a little the pressure kind of gets to them, and they start dialing up a bunch of passes. And to a certain extent, that works. But you still have to be fairly balanced offense and defense otherwise they can just kind of play like a loose zone on you and you can eat it up underneath. But so hopefully we'll be able to see that coming into week 2.
What you got for this game, Grandy? Any takes? Anybody that you're going to be keeping your eye on who needs to have a big game?
I'm going to be keeping an eye on Eno Benjamin. I think we need to run the ball more. He looked really sharp when he did. And I think he provides that other element to James Conner. We need to establish that so we can open up some of these deep passes that Marquise Brown is. That's his specialty. He runs fast. Throw the ball deep to him. In order to do that, we gotta get them guessing on that ground. So I really am hoping to see a big game out of our 2 running backs, but I really want to see more out of Eno Benjamin and see him used more because he seemed to do really well when we put him into positions last week.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I think we need to get Eno out there. We need to establish that tandem because I don't like to run James Conner into the ground. His injury history concerns me a little bit, and I think Eno is ready to take that next step with Edmonds being gone.
Had that burst too. Just rewatching the game, I just think maybe because it was so lopsided by that time he really came in, that I didn't really recognize it in live time. But rewatching it, he definitely has that burst that even James Conner. I mean, James Conner's never going to break off, or he's not known to kind of be that guy that's going to twinkle toes almost, or break a big run or burn somebody. But looked like he had some juice. So definitely need to see more of those two. Need to see Cliff be a little bit more, complex with his packages instead of just going 4 wide. I mean, when it's 3rd and 1, can we not have fucking 5 wide with no running backs? Can we at least, make the defense think about it a little bit more? At the end of the day, the NFL is won in the trenches. It still is. It'll always be unless they take away tackling. So you definitely, like Randy said, need to establish that run game a little bit more.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine.
Just want to give a shout out to Bo Bobbles as he's our week 1 winner. I forgot to do pick him, so I've been kind of grading everybody's. Me and Joko and the Cardinal Rule finished last at 7-9.
Hell yeah, I did.
Jackie, you and Will tied at 8-8. And Bo Bobbles is 10-6. So, good job, Bobby.
Man. Oh, and I guess because I think unless you guys have any last final thoughts on this week's matchup, I do have to award a big dick player of the game. And it was very hard this week because I felt like everybody.
A lot of small dicks out there this week. A lot of small dicks.
A lot of shrimp dick. Yes, it was cold, but I'm gonna give it to Greg Dortch.
Nice.
Pleasantly surprised by his performance. Good job, Greg Dortch.
He deserves
to be receiving a golden dick in the mail.
But with how many times that guy's been cut, it's nice seeing somebody who's given that opportunity to go out there and produce the way he did, and he really could be a big part of this offense, especially when everyone's healthy. Kind of gives you that fourth wide receiver a little bit. I'll say I was really disappointed in. I was expecting more from AJ Green. Really, the only big body wide receiver we had active. 1 catch. So
I didn't even hear his name called. I don't even remember when that catch is. I couldn't tell you he was on the field at all.
I was definitely. And if you tuned into my little fantasy predictions on Instagram that I was hyping up last week, just ignore the AJ Green, maybe a flex option. Yeah. Especially if you're a daily fantasy player. It was just frustrating all around. It was just glad the week's over with. So get it out the way early, right?
Yeah, and granted, we could have been the Cowboys that didn't score a fucking touchdown. We could have been the Packers.
Shout out to Pardue, Andrew Pardue. I know we've been on their show before. I don't know if we've had Pardue on. Was he on our show?
No, it's always been Sanders.
Okay. But, yeah, you brought up the point. The Cardinals are the highest scoring offense in the NFC West after week 1. Which is pretty pathetic, but also, kind of gives you an idea of where everyone else is. It's not the end of the world, I think we all would have agreed if we could go maybe 3-3 with D-Hop out, get healthy, get D-Hop back, and kind of finish strong. I know this is brutal. This is not what we all wanted. But there could be some silver linings to be able to get the shit out of the way right now and make sure everyone is on the same page moving forward. Because I think Kyler even said something. We almost got too big-headed. Big-headed from what? You guys didn't even play in preseason. You guys are playing the Chiefs, the 4-time reigning, who's been in the AFC Championship game 4 times in a row. So just whatever they had in their head, Camp Cupcake, Cliff, whatever he put in their head, get it out of the way now. You guys aren't going to be an 11-win team like last year with that effort for one, and then just with that execution. That it's one thing to play shorthanded, but it's another thing just get ran out of the gym or the stadium like we did. Even shorthanded, you just have to put up a better performance. So thank God we don't play Patrick Mahomes again.
Until the Super Bowl. Watch.
I'm here for it.
I guess before we get into predictions, I meant to do this at the beginning of the show, so my bad. But Grandy, tell us about yourself. What is your history as an Arizona Cardinals fan, or just an Arizona sports fan?
Yeah, so my family moved to Arizona when I was real young, 6, 7 years old. Um, some of my earliest memories involve Jake the Snake Plumber and
Nice.
Shane Doan on the Coyotes. So
Hell
just
yeah.
fell deeply in love with the Arizona teams, the Coyotes and the Cardinals especially, and continued that. About 4 years ago, moved back to Minnesota, brought my love of my sports teams with me though, and continue to be a desert sports fan up here in the frozen north.
Oh yeah, preaching
Hell
the
yeah.
gospel. You
I'm the last member of my family holding that flag too, so
you better start procreating. Okay, that took him up, Jackie. Let's go. Grab someone.
Yeah, we'll
Um,
send you the finest hose.
you ever been to a Cardinal game?
I've been to one back when we were playing in the ASU stadium. I was never in State Farm Stadium.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we lose, Grandy. Get your ass to State Farm Stadium.
What are we on, a 6-game home losing streak or some shit? That has to change. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's gotta change. Oh
Let me just
man.
say a little tangent here. I remember going to a Minnesota Vikings game back in 2015. I believe it was Thursday Night Football, and it was in December. So like I'm wearing like jeans and a sweatshirt, and all of the Minnesota fans are in like shorts and flip flops.
It
Yeah.
was what, 40 degrees down there? That's shorts weather.
What
Like 50 degrees, man. I hate the cold, but yeah, I just thought it was funny that all of those fans were like tank tops,
is that
flip
in
flops.
Minnesota or here?
It was in Arizona. It was in
Okay.
December, so like I'm cold. Like
Oh.
the
So
roof was open. I had to buy a sweater.
so my profile picture on Twitter is me at the Winter Classic in Minnesota, January 1st of this year, where it was, and I am
Oh yeah.
not kidding here, negative 45 outside.
Fuck all of that.
Yeah, that was an experience, let me tell you.
That's
Are
probably
So
you
fun
used to
though.
that
That's
weather?
probably
Do
a
you like that
memory.
weather?
I don't like the extreme cold, but I deal with cold better than I deal with heat. 'Cause
Yeah,
you
see, I'm
can
the
do more to
opposite.
fight the cold.
I'm in Virginia now, and I've lived in Phoenix for the first 26 years of my life. Then I moved to Virginia, and Virginia doesn't get anywhere near as cold as Minnesota. But I'm a fucking wuss. Like, as soon as the temperature, I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now, and I think it's only like 60 degrees outside. Like, as soon as the
Hey,
temperature drops, I'm
I
like
wish it was 60
bundled.
degrees outside.
I know, isn't it
It
nuts?
was,
Because I'm like thinking like it's still hotter than hell in Arizona, and it's already like sweater weather here.
it was 70 degrees outside, and I still had my AC on today.
Jesus.
I've uh,
Whee!
I've become a wimp up here for the heat.
So, Grandy, you podcast. You cover hockey. How'd you get into that?
Yeah, so actually, in the group chats Mac started, I was in. I was one of the original members in all of them. Still am in all of them. But in the
Shout
Coyotes
out.
one, me and a group of friends just started talking, and we really started clicking in the Coyotes one. So we started gaming off, gaming together, doing stuff like that, just chatting off about our personal lives, stuff like that. And we decided, hey, we have this chemistry, we have this friendship going. Let's look into doing this Coyotes podcast. There's not really a lot of them out there. We love talking hockey, and we love Arizona sports, so we started that up. It's we're about a week out from our 2 years actually, so
Damn.
it
Wow!
was.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Last night, I was up late recording a podcast. We actually had the Arizona Coyotes team reporter on our podcast, and we were interviewing him. So that was a blast to do.
Oh shit, that's
So
awesome.
Hey, the
yeah.
best we can do is you. So thanks for coming on. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on.
Hey, if you don't
I don't
follow
know.
Chirping Yotes, you better follow them. Hey,
I
and it's
will.
Chirpin'
Yodi. I was thinking
Yote.
about this last night. No, stop. You guys, stop. You
Chirpin'
guys,
Yote.
You mean Yotes? No. If it was Yotes, there'd be an apostrophe instead of the E. IOT apostrophe S. You have YOTES. Coyotes, you had a CO in front of it, so you just take off the co. Where the fuck does the Yotes come from? You don't say, let's go Coyotes, unless there's an apostrophe after the T. That's all I'm saying.
I will say, I had an honest to God employee of the team on our podcast last night who confirmed it's Yotes.
Ooh,
Take this L.
Bobby, edit this shit out. Fuck that. No. Fuck that. I don't agree. I don't. No.
Whatever.
No.
Man. Well,
No. Okay, I'm
we
good.
appreciate you coming on. I don't know dick about hockey, but I'll just sit there and be raunchy on your pod if you want. I'll return the favor.
I appreciate you guys having me on. I will always take any opportunity I can to talk sports with anyone. So,
shout out to your host, I believe, or I guess co-host, Tyler, who always tunes into our podcast, our live shows, and everything. So shout out to him. But me, him, and my brother, he invited us out to go to the Cardinals training camp this year. I meant to mention that previously, but so I was out at the training camp. Thanks to Tyler being so generous and hooking it up. And it was nice to meet him. One day we'll have to. I met Jackie. I met Will. We'll have to meet Mr. Grandy sometime when you come back down to the valley. Hopefully we can catch a Cardinal game at State Farm Stadium. Hopefully one of these years soon.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely.
We'll pop your State Farm cherry.
My next vacation, I'm already planning
in the bathroom.
My next vacation, I'm already planning it to be in Arizona. Have to head down there to hang out with my boys on the pod and all of that. So,
what month you coming
definitely
down?
Definitely got to get back down there. If I can leave negative 20-degree weather, I will.
Yeah. Let's do it. I'm totally down. Yeah. I know Bo Bobbles, our editor. He's just an AI, so I don't think we'll ever meet him. But he does a great job editing. Shout out Bo Bobbles if you're a real one. And if we did lose to an AI in Pick'ems, that would make me feel a lot better. So shout out Bo Bobbles. It could be an AI. It could be a hot chick. We just don't know. We don't know.
All right. Do we want to get into predictions so I can get out of here and watch wrestling?
Shut the fuck
up. That's the dig at our host, Will, because he's always like, okay, let's hurry up. And I'm like, Will,
I'm gonna start calling you Jill from now on. God damn it, Jill.
I'm like, well, what the fuck you got going on? All I got watch
my brother was listening, and when you said that or something, I didn't even remember that like live at the time, but he said that. No, I gotta go watch wrestling. And you're like, you and your boyfriend, what did you say? You said something like, oh, he was fucking dying.
I said all you and your friends are gonna get naked and wrestle or what?
Yeah, that's exactly. That was like the first thing my brother said when I got back into work. He's like, he was fucking dying. So, shout out Derek. Thanks for listening.
Shout out Derek. But I love you, Will. I'm sorry. I just had to roast you a little bit. All right, so I have the games pulled up, so let's get into predictions.
Let's do it quick so Jackie can go wrestle her husband naked, I guess.
Yes, I'm gonna fucking get oiled up and wrestle him.
I will. I will see if I can be your first offer. So I am not good when it comes to predictions.
Hey, it's just pick'ems too, so it's not like a line or anything like that. So could be worse.
Yeah, you don't have to get real specific with it. And I always pick the fucking Jets for God knows why.
She's every year. She swears to God she's not a fan, and then somehow Will won with that Giants pick. Okay, well I see you.
Yeah.
You guys love your New York teams, but anyways, I digress. Let's get on. Let's hammer this out.
All right, we got Thursday night football. Chiefs Chargers. Who we got?
Yeah, that's a fucking good game for Sunday night.
Thursday night.
That's what I meant, Thursday. I have to go KC. Just by the way, they stomped us. That looks like the king of the league. Week 1.
That'll make me feel better. I'll go Kansas City with you.
I'm going to say San Diego uses this game, gets back on track.
Who the fuck is San Diego, bruh?
San Diego.
Oh, Los Angeles.
They beat the Raiders, though. They've already gotten right.
Well, their offense, they won, but their team didn't look that great as far as what was expected, let's say.
Fair. And all right, we got.
Trust me, I have a couple Chargers in fantasy, so I know that really well.
Okay, I see you. How did your guys' fantasy teams do this week? I went fucking
suck my dick.
0-2. Yeah.
I went 0-3.
I was gonna go 3-3 if McManus hit that field goal. So I went 2-4. I lost like 2.9 points or something like that. But that was the league I had like George Kittle hurt, Rondell Moore hurt, and fucking Elijah Mitchell fucking left at like the second quarter.
I lost by 1 point in the league. I had already chalked it up as a loss going into Sunday night. He had Dak left. I had a 5-point lead. Or I had a 4-point lead, and Dak scores 5 points.
Shut the fuck up.
Before he gets hurt. Yep. I was, you couldn't have gotten hurt before you scored that last point. Come on.
Jesus.
All right, we got our early slates. We got Patriots, Steelers. Who we got?
Jackie, if you don't mind, let me know what Bobbles picks because I have Will's up right now.
Oh, okay.
So I got Will has Miami. So we'll list
Miami.
I guess he's going off his own list. What was options?
Steelers and Patriots.
You have to go Pittsburgh. New England did not look very good.
Yeah, Mac Jones is hurt, right?
Yeah, looks like it.
Throw out his back, carry the team, I guess. So who knows? All right, let's go Steelers. Bobby also goes Steelers, and then the first Thursday night games he goes Chiefs.
Steelers.
I'm going Steelers too.
Yeah, so Steelers across the board.
So that's how we know New England's going to win. I swear to God, anytime we do it across the board. We had that last week, and it just... Who was it? It was Titans and the Colts. And and Denver. Those are the three games we had even across... Oh, Cincinnati was the other one. Mm-hmm. Cincinnati won. So we were 1-4 across the board. We're all even on our picks, or 1-3. So,
ooh,
all right.
This next one might be a good game, given that they played better than I had anticipated week one. We got Panthers, Giants.
Hey, Saquon looked like he was kind of back. I don't know.
Saquon did look like vintage Saquon, so I'm going to say Giants.
Go New York, go New York, go!
I'm like, oh my God, I was going to do it.
Shout out Will. Will always does that shit. So shout out Will.
Bobby also goes Giants. Who you got, Grandy?
You know what? I want to do this simply because it's my co-host on the Chirpin Yotes teams. I'm going to pick the Panthers.
Will even put that on his notes. I didn't even see that. Go New York, go New York.
That's awesome. Shout out Will.
You going Carolina? Okay.
Yep. Backing my boy Haynes with that.
All right. We've got Jets, Browns. All right, just chalk one up for the Jets for me.
Show.
Yeah.
Ugh. Joe Flacco's your quarterback, huh?
I guess. I don't fucking know.
Stop. You got Jets posters everywhere. Move to the East Coast just so you can be closer to the Jets. I'm picking both New York teams because I love punishment.
Bobbles picks the Browns.
The Browns. Randy?
I'm going the Jets.
Hell yeah! A man of class, a man of culture.
You going Browns, Jackie?
Fuck no, I said Jets.
You love the Jets. I gotta talk to your pops. See what he did with you as a young child to make you a Jets fan.
Not even, but what's funny is the last time the Jets were in town when they played the Cardinals, it was, I believe, Monday Night Football. And we went, I think so, and we were there at the game, and there was a lot of Jets fans, and they were doing their stupid Jets, Jets. So I was like, suck. I was incredibly hammered. I went home. I lost my car keys outside my apartment. Had to call out of work the next day because I couldn't find my car keys, and I found them outside. I digress, but funny story. So I went
go on. Yeah.
I went home that night. I'm hammered drunk. I go to take my dog out to the bathroom, and I'm not paying attention. Like I'm not really holding
Oh
the
shit.
leash.
Yeah.
So I'm like walking. This stupid dog sees a cat and then like takes off running after this cat.
Oh fuck.
And I fell and like face planted into the concrete. And I wake up the next morning and like I've got like my knees are like black and blue from like falling that hard. And not only that, but actually at the game, I went to get up to go to the bathroom. I'm super drunk and I flipped over one of the stadium chairs and ate shit.
Jesus.
And to this day, I have a dent in my like thigh from where I fell. So like that after that game, it looked like I got beat the fuck up.
Pro tip: you got to do
So yeah,
cocaine if you're doing that much alcohol.
Yeah, so I got alcohol issues. Let's get into our next game. We've got Colts Jags. Who we got?
Colts Jags.
Yes,
Colts tied the Texans, right?
they did. And the Jags kind of put up a little bit of a fight there.
Jags always play them well too. We were talking about that last week. I still have to go Indy because I got Jonathan Taylor and I need him to rush for 200 yards. Let's go.
I'm gonna go Indy as well. I'm like a closeted Colts fan too. Bo Bobbles also goes Colts. Who do you got, Grandy?
Well, I'm a closeted fan of any NFL team. It's the Jaguars, so I got to stick by them. Jacksonville.
Right.
Jaguars.
And Will says what?
Will says Jags as well. Sorry, who did Bo Bobble say?
Bobby says Colts.
And same with you?
I also say the Colts.
Sorry, I've had like 4 beers since we started this.
Hell yeah.
Dinner's on the way too, so a little empty stomach, but we're good. Okay, moving on along.
Moving on up, we got Dolphins, Ravens.
Baltimore. Yeah, that's gonna be a good game actually.
Yeah, that might actually be a good game. I'm gonna go Ravens. Shout out Sanders. Who you got, Grandy?
I'm going Ravens.
Oh, Bobbles also says Ravens, and who does William say?
Baltimore or who?
Miami.
Ravens, Dolphins.
There's Rams, Niners, Bengals, Broncos, Dolphins. He picked Dolphins. One team to pick Dolphins.
Who'd you say, Mac?
Baltimore.
All right. The only person to pick Miami as well. Okay. All right, we got Bucks, Saints.
I'm gonna mix it up. I'm going.
Saints.
Oh God, I hate you. I literally wrote NO on my fucking sheet.
As in, no, don't listen to Jackie.
No, help.
I thought I was going to be alone on this one, but yeah, I'm going New Orleans too.
Bobble says the Saints. What the hell?
Who did Will fucking say? It's New Orleans or who?
It's Bucks Saints.
You got Bucks. Will's gonna win next week. I can already tell.
Shit. All right, we got Commanders, Lions.
God, disgusting.
We got second stage.
I'm going Washington.
I'm gonna say the Lions. The Lions actually were giving it to the Eagles at the last minute. So
this is one where do I have to pick a team?
Yeah.
Hey, I picked the Cardinals go 10-6-1, so you could pick a tie theoretically.
I'm going to go Washington.
Bo Bobbles.
Bo Bobbles says Lions.
Okay. All right. On a split there. I like it.
William.
He picked Detroit as well.
All right. All right, and to kick off our afternoon games, we've got Seahawks, Niners.
Ooh. I'm going Seattle because I just want Jackie's premonition that if Trey Lance goes 0-3, they're going to pull him. So I just want that to be reality. Right?
You know, I mean, fuck Seattle and all that, but I kind of wish I kind of want them to finish 500. I want them to not finish last in the West. I also would like us to not finish last in the West. Like if they come out third and we're ahead of them, like that's like my dream scenario right now. And they somehow screw themselves out of a good draft pick.
For a quarterback, I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So I'm gonna go
we
Seattle.
talked about it when we were on Sanders. That roster isn't terrible. Like, I was surprised actually going through it. I was like, okay, well, that roster ain't bad. The quarterback situation, I mean, Geno Smith, everyone acted like it was a Hall of Famer. He threw for under 200 yards. But that's what you have to do, game manage. And I don't think that's going to last for that long. But I do hope it lasts one more week and they do beat the Niners. Who you got, Grandy?
I was going to go Seattle too. So I think,
I fuck with it.
yeah.
Shout out Geno Smith though. He's been in the league for 8 years, and everyone just kind of thought he just was going to quietly just go away, and now he's back and making a case for himself. Dreams come true, people.
Who Bo Bobbles got?
Bo Bobbles has fuck. Yeah, that's who he has. Fuck. Niners.
Already?
William.
He's going San Fran.
Oh.
What a hoe. Oh, hey. Are you done watching wrestling?
I wasn't watching wrestling. I was just I was doing classwork and I was on a walk with a friend.
Ooh, I'm just kidding. All right, now you can close this out with our last leg of predictions.
All right, where we at?
We got Falcons Rams.
All right,
Well,
who we got?
his might be a little different because I know the order he has them in is a little bit different than what
What I've been reading them off as.
Yeah.
All right. Falcons Rams. Fuck the Rams. I'm gonna go Falcons. Why not?
Well, I'm trying to win here, so that's why Rams. So
Grandy.
Yeah.
By the way, Mac, did you say the go New York, go, or is that
He did. He beat me to it.
I didn't even see it on your list though either. I just saw Giants, and then like for some reason I don't know. I'm very little sleep right now. And then after I said, I looked I'm like, oh shit, he did say that. All right, but Bobbles I got Rams too, just because I do not want to finish 7-9 again this week.
By the way, who won Pick'ems last week? I missed it.
Bobbles.
Boo.
You and Jackie finished tied for second.
I'm going Rams.
Rams, yeah.
Grandy says Rams. Bo Bobble says Rams. All right. Well, fucking lick my nuts.
Big
we got
ATL fan. Broncos. I am gonna shock the world and go Houston.
Ooh, okay. William?
Broncos Texans. I don't think I marked it. Broncos Texans. I'm gonna say Texans.
Said Denver on here.
Oh yeah, I did pick Denver. Yeah, Denver.
Yeah, it's in writing, pal.
Illegal.
Right,
Illegal. You get 0 points. You lose.
I just got back from a walk, man. I'm tired.
I'm going Denver.
I'm gonna say Texans.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a believer in Davis Mills. Not gonna lie, and not just because I have him on my fantasy team, but fuck, I think. Fan. Yeah, whatever.
Joe W.
The closeted Denver fan that is Bo Bobbles also says Broncos. He says Broncos Nation. Let's ride.
What we got next?
All right, we got Bengals and Cowboys.
I don't know how
Cowboys don't even have Dak anymore.
Yeah, sorry, Cooper Rush. I'm going Cincy.
Yeah, Cooper Rush is Cooper Rush is the sorriest backup in the league. It's going to be the Bengals by a mile.
I got Bengals as well. Who do you got, Grandy?
Bengals.
Bo Bobble says Bengals. All right, so obviously we're all fucked.
Rip.
Yep.
Ooh, we got Bears Packers. Who we got?
I gotta go Packers.
Aaron Rodgers owns them. You gotta say Packers.
I'm gonna say Bears. I'm gonna predict Justin Fields fucking teabags Aaron Rodgers. What do you got, Grandy?
I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Bears. Yes.
You gotta kiss up to Jackie. She ain't nobody.
Yeah. Bo Bobble says Packers. So yeah, me and Grandy will be letting our nuts hang. We got Titans Bills.
Letting your nuts hang through the thong. Titans, Bills. I am going Buffalo.
Go New York, go New York, go! It's gonna be the Bills, baby. Love the Bills. Let's score a touchdown.
Okay.
No. All right, I'm gonna pick the Titans just to spite you. Grandy, who you got?
Going with the Bills.
All right, and then Bo Bobble says Bills as well. So I'm the loner with the Titans. So I'm gonna win, obviously.
Got the nuts back.
So that's gonna be the Monday night doubleheader. Why they did 2 Monday night games, who the fuck knows?
This one, they should
And
just have a fucking Tuesday game or something.
that would be sick. I wish I could watch some football right now.
That's too much football, man. I don't like that.
It's not wrestling,
There's no
but
such thing as too much football, Will.
There really is. Tuesday. If we have Tuesday night football, we can't have Tuesday night Maction. What's life without a little Toledo, Central Michigan?
Yeah, fuck no. All right. Okay, and in the final game of Monday Night Football to close it on out for week 2, we got Vikings Eagles.
We still gotta do Cardinals, but yeah. Vikings.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying just in general.
Vikings. Was that a mirage?
I think it's gonna be the Vikings, baby.
Yeah, I'm picking Mini too.
It's hard to trust the Vikings for anything, but if you're letting the Lions put that many points on you, I don't trust that. It's going to be the Vikings.
Yeah,
We know
Grandy's going
is going to be
Vikings.
doing the gritty all over Philly. It's the Vikings.
Hell yeah! And Bo Bobbles also says Vikings.
Shit, you know Philly's gonna win now.
Nah,
I'll pick Mini.
Oh, we did?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with all of that being said, that brings us to your Arizona Cardinals versus the rambling,
Elvis impersonating,
the fucking Elvis impersonating, fucking stadium brawling Las Vegas Raiders. Who do we got, guys?
Oh, I think, yeah, I want to have sanity heading into next work week. So I'm gonna say Cardinals even their record at 1-1. Because if they go 0-2 and then they got the Rams coming up, you're 0-3. That's just not something I don't think any of us want to even start picturing when you're only halfway through D-Hop suspension still. So I think it has to be 1-1. If it's not 1-1, I might be in Mexico this time next week.
We'll let our guests go next.
I'm gonna say the Cardinals take this one. I think our offense will come back strong, and I think in the Gunslingers duel, I'd put my faith in Kyler before I'd put my faith in Carr. So
yeah, I wouldn't put my faith in Carr either. I'm kidding. So the way we do predictions with the cards is that we also give a score prediction. So what do you think is the score?
I forgot about that.
31-24.
Fuck.
31-24.
You gonna ask me mine or no?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So I was gonna say Cardinals, but I'm gonna go 31-28.
This week's a tough one for me. I think that Derek Carr is a tricky guy to pinpoint because on any given week, he either looks like he should be an MVP candidate or he looks like he should be in the bin like fucking like a Jets quarterback or something. He is a very hard quarterback to pinpoint. He is a very hard quarterback to just put in a category. This Cardinals team right now, the secondary is a mess. The D line is just bleh. This is a legitimate toss up. That being said, it is my role on this podcast to be the resident pessimist. So I say with great regret Raiders 24-17.
Jesus Christ.
Will, I'm gonna be twerking on your grave.
I would be squirting on your grave, Will.
What?
What?
Letting it bounce.
Yeah, I got AZ. Raiders didn't have any sacks last week. I think that Max Crosby's a hell of a pass rusher. Hopefully that stays true.
I mean, Chargers also have a decent D line, don't they? Or O line, don't they?
They're kind of banged up right now. They're starting centers in concussion protocol. They gave up 5.5 sacks last week, so
is out for the season.
I'm gonna go. God damn it! I hope Rondell can play, but from the sounds of it, I'm not very optimistic. 37-27 Cardinals.
Hell yeah, I fucks with it. No, their starting corner is out for the year, so whatever bum we put out there at wide receiver will have a game.
Sorry, Will, what was your score?
24-17.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, and then Bobbles also picks the Cardinals 27-24.
27-24?
Yep.
All right.
So that's all predictions. Grandy, anything you want to say about Cardinals, yourself?
Thank you for jumping on.
We appreciate
you for having me. It was a blast being on here talking some football with you, even if the last week wasn't the most fun week to be talking about.
No, but we appreciate you jumping on. Typically, if we have a guest, they tell us their credit card number, their mother's maiden name, and social number.
I have to look some of that up. Can I text that to you?
Don't worry, Jackie. I got all that info already. I had to sign them up for our Discord. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, I'll just
$9.95 a week.
I'll have to remember this next time I have you on our pod, man.
Oh, I am unavailable. Something came up right now
for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, hey, you guys already had the Coyotes beat writer on. I mean, fuck, why would you guys want me on anymore? Jesus.
I know.
So,
well,
I'm gonna have to change my Twitter or my Twitter profile from fifth best chirping Yodi's fucking guest to sixth now.
You jumped over Haynes, so you're good. You're still at fifth.
Okay, because Haynes joined you guys, so okay, that's just kind of cancels it out. I get it.
No, but seriously, thank you, Grandy, for jumping in. Anything else you want to add?
No, I'll just go Cardinals.
Go Cards, man.
Before we go, I just want to give a shout out to my pops. I know if any of you really listened last year, went through a lot of health scares with them. He had prostate cancer. And so I was rewatching the Cardinal game yesterday, and I got a call saying I need to call my mom at halftime of rewatching the game, and she was just bawling, hysterical. So I had to go and I'll take my dad to the ER, and he's admitted. He's in there for a couple of days right now. They're projecting. They found some things on this CAT scan and everything, but he's got biopsies going tomorrow. So just want to. I know he's gonna. We're recording on a Tuesday, so I know he doesn't have much going on. So he's definitely going to be listening. So I just wanted to say, shout out, Dad. Thank you for everything. Love you, and everything will be good for sure.
Shout out, Max, Dad. Prayers up. Hope everything's good. You know, my dad's got prostate cancer as well, so you know I'm right there with you. So hope everything comes out good for sure.
Appreciate it. Yeah. And I usually like to have more stats oriented and everything, and then just with yesterday, just it being kind of a short turnaround time, I didn't really get there, so I felt a lot more unprepared for today. So appreciate you coming on, Grandy, and kind of helping us kind of move it along a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me again. It was a blast.
Yeah, so let's end it off. Yeah.
And thanks, Will, for jumping in for Pick'em. That was fun.
You're welcome.
All right, so this has been another episode of the Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Jackie. You can find me on Twitter at JSanDiego. That is 2 O's.
Yo, it's Mac. You can find me on Twitter at AZ Sports Fiend or on Instagram doing fantasy football. Hot takes, cold takes at all AZ Cards FFN.
This is the fashionably late Will. You can find me on Twitter at Live on That Swing.
And this is Alex Grandy. You can find me on Twitter at Grandy099.
And we are out. This was a Max Hall production. Peace, bitches.